things they need out of their tools. And so why not create something that can just do all of that and is configurable? So I don't know. That was kind of the whole motivation behind this. It's kind of a bit of a speed run. I'm curious to see how fast we can get this running. Since our last stream on Monday, I spent a couple hours in there and got it actually working. So it works pretty well. It actually records. It has hotkeys. You hit a hotkey, it starts recording, auto transcribes, saves your transcriptions. And now we just need to tweak it a little bit. We need to make the UI a little bit better, the the experience better, and make it less buggy. And yeah, I don't know. Just want to hack on it. It sounds fun.
Absolutely. Before we do you want to talk about any of the issues we ran into? Because as much as we thought it'd just be smooth sailing, there was a little bit of not even a roadblock, just like speed bumps.
Yeah, there were some speed bumps. I mean, system audio is a tough thing, and I don't know why. I should do more research as to why system audio is such a hard thing. I think it's just Mac OS being like gatekeepery, for a lack of a better term. So I had to figure out how to make system audio work. And there's an awesome tool called Black Hole. That's a C++ library that you can add to your Mac really easy with just I think it's just a brew install or something like that. And it just uses Black Hole now to get your system audio, and it works really well. So takes system audio, will take your microphone audio, combine the two into one audio file, and then use that to transcribe.
Perfect. Can't wait.
Let's try it out. Well, I also just realized I might be using my bad mic, my bad microphone.
I mean, it sounds fine to me, but I'm so bad at this apparently.
Fair enough. Let me just switch it to my Mac and see if it's better. Did it? Can you still hear me?
Sounds good.
Cool. All right, right on. Cool. Okay. Well, I just kind of wanted to start by I think there can be two versions of this. I think there can be a full command line interface that's very CLI forward. That's just basically print statements of what's going on. That's really straightforward and really simple. But I also found this pretty cool tool called Toga, which allows you to build UIs with Python, little desktop apps. I had no idea that was the thing. So I want to hack on it, see if we can make a little UI for it. Apparently you can bundle the whole application and it comes with all the Python included and just kind of works. So I want to play with that, but I want to figure out what does the most minimal, basic, but effective meeting transcriber look like? And what does that look like from a CLI perspective, but also from a UI perspective? And I think it should be essentially the same, just displayed differently.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, yeah, I guess we have Miro open for this particular reason. So I was just going to start drawing, unless you have any ideas off the top of your head.
No, let's get into it.
All right, cool. I'm going to draw a square. There we go. Okay, so I guess I guess we could do a CLI. So this is like a terminal interface type deal. I guess I'll draw the little, what's the little side caret thing? Oh, it disappeared. Okay, fair enough. Let's try that again. Yay, terminal. Okay, so something that I ran into when I was playing with this is we need to have some way to select audio sources. To select an audio input is pretty important because it kept selecting my default audio source, which was my Mac microphone, but when my Mac is closed, I can't use that one. So I think that, I don't know, do you have any strong feeling? Are you the type of person that just uses the same audio one all the time, or is that something that you like changing frequently?
No, I use mine consistently all the time. I've trying to think of use cases where you'd want to go back and forth. I mean, I guess in your setup where you have a better mic in the MacBook, but you also like to close the MacBook, makes sense. I also don't know how Apple sets up. Does it, every time you start your computer, does it assign the same audio device to the same ID? Or is it kind of like if my microphone's plugged in versus not plugged in, will that change? Do you know?
Yeah, I think it's a named device.
Okay.
I think is how it works. And so it's like, like MacBook Pro HD or whatever it is. And then it's actually like the name of the audio device, but when the device isn't plugged in, it's not discoverable. So I guess maybe we could you're right. There's probably 95% of the time you're just going to want to use the same audio device you used last time.
Yep.
because of that, maybe it shouldn't slow us down, and we could just like use by default. It just uses the default audio source, and then maybe in our config file we could just have a place where you can specify a different one if you wanted to.
Yep. And I'm even thinking like if my default is the MacBook instead of my Shure mic, it still picks it up. It still hears me. It's just not as crisp. But I mean, should be fine. So yeah, 80/20. Let's use default.
We'll just use default. Okay, that works. It also means I don't have to build anything else because that's already there.
Nice.
But we should add a config key to specify different audio input. Yeah, and we also, I guess maybe we should make a little to-do list or something in here too.
Yep.
We'll just make a okay. Specify. Oh, come on, Miro. Oh no, that's not what I wanted. Okay, there we go. Specify specific audio inputs. There's something else I was about to just add to this. I don't remember. That's okay.
Yep. Yeah, if we have the default set. Sorry?
What were we just talking about? I forgot.
Yeah, UI and then an audio source. So, I mean, we got to specify a specific one and then, just have a default.
Better CLI interface. Experimental desktop app UI. Cool. All right, well, we'll just keep that running there. Okay, so I guess in a CLI, when the thing starts up, does it start up and it's just like, okay, now it's on, and then you have to hit a hotkey to start recording? Is that kind of how it is, or do you want to make it more CLI-esque where you like run a particular command with a flag that starts it?
Yeah, maybe no flags launches the menu. Flags can initiate something right away. Because I know I would want to set an alias where it would be something like meeting record or something like that, and then it would pass in the flags by default within the alias. But if I want to go in and set config or something like that, it'd be nice to have the menu just be an argumentless command.
Perfect. Okay, no flags opens the menu. I love the framing of menu. That's great. Okay, and then specific flags open the, or actually just start recording or things like that.
Yeah, launch functionality.
Start, stop, pause.
Nice.
And whatever else. Cool. All right. So I guess when you run, like, I don't know, transcribe in your terminal, then it would open up a menu. And I guess this little menu would just be like, maybe you'd specify the hotkeys you can press.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I don't know, Control R to record, that type of thing. I don't need to make this look great right now, but display your available hotkeys. It might also be good to just display what inputs it's going to use. You think?
Yep. Yeah, some journal info.
Like using audio device.
And I found a lot of the audio device names aren't really user friendly, but I don't think there's an option to get around that. I think you're just gonna have to kind of, if you want something prettier, use the GUI.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, these aren't great.
Oh, that's not bad actually. That's better than I expected.
Oh, MacBook Pro speakers. Yeah, okay, fair enough. Highly recommend this app, by the way. It's great app. Sound Source. Okay, cool. Using audio device and black hole. So that's just like specifies what microphone it's using and the system audio. And then, yeah, I guess you just actually, I'm going to be nitpicky and put this first, because I feel like it normally would like start up and be like, tell you information and then tell you what you can do, right?
Sure.
And then that's kind of it, right? Do we need anything else in the menu? I guess we could say like using,
and even just, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say like using a specific AI model or something, like using Olama, or I guess that's just in your config so people know what they're using.
Even something like the command to open the config or the help, just.
Oh, yeah.
So people who fire up for the first time know what it's capable of.
Type help. Config for config. I don't know, whatever. We can change that, but just so people don't get lost in there. Audio device by call, available hotkeys. Okay, is there going to be some sort of like profile type of deal? Like, you know what I'm saying? Because we might have different prompts for things. Like once you transcribe something, like if you're going to do a user call versus just like an internal meeting, would you want it to open in a particular profile so that it records the meeting, and once it's done, the translations it does is for that particular profile? Or
Yeah, because there's two paths I see this taking. Where once it has the transcription file, which should be soon after the meeting ends, it could either automatically route it to the LLM, in which case having a predefined profile would be almost mandatory. Say like, what is the prompt that goes along with this, so you can select different ones. The other would be after the transcription file is generated, then be able to choose to route it. But either way, I feel that you'll want to have at least more than one different prompt setup, where some might just be summarize, some might be extract the action items. You could have it be universal, where it's just one that does all of it, but that feels like it kind of goes against the ethos of trying to like have control over it. So I like the idea of profiles. Yeah, a profile would pretty much just be a prompt, and then you'd optionally be able to set the LM provider and the model, things like that.
Okay, yeah, that sounds good to me.
And there's just like then a default one. I'm just thinking too. Yeah, because even the idea of having no AI processing might be appealing, but I don't know if that's out of scope.
Type, I don't know, slash to change or something. I don't know, something like that. Using profile user calls, type slash to change. Or yeah, that sounds right to me. My overly ambitious brain is like, could there be an auto profile that just detects it based on the contents of the transcript on what you'd want to do?
Stretch goal.
I know, that's definitely a stretch goal.
What we should definitely do is make sure we set up the GitHub repo so we can have these ambitious tasks that people can pick up, because I'm sure people are going to want to contribute and add their own flavor to it. If we could say, hey, here's some inspiration, build your portfolio, put something cool into this tool.
Oh, I love that. Maybe we'll do like a future list or something, or stretch goals, I guess, probably makes sense. Text, what profile to use based on contents. Cool. All right, and then I guess someone would press a hotkey. It would just do something along the lines of like recording ... or whatever. And we can make that. Oh, really? There we go. Okay. And then that's all you'd see during the duration of the call. And then once you're done, you press the hotkey again or something to stop recording. Mm-hmm. Yeah?
Yep.
Okay, cool. Do something like finishing up after it's done recording or something like that. I know this might seem like unnecessary effort, but it's really nice to frame this way. Otherwise, I'll just get Cursor Composer to do whatever, and then it'll be and then it'll be not ideal. We'll have to take it all out. So
cool.
That's kind of good for a CLI, I guess. And once it finishes, we probably want to display the processing or something like that, I guess. You think?
Yeah, even there might even be a benefit to having the ability to just open up the directory that has a transcript, if not the transcript itself. And even things like I think we discussed this before, I don't know if it was on stream or not, where the outputs will be sent to a directory that matches, in this case, the profile, where there'll be a directory for transcripts, maybe even just a single one for transcripts and LLM output. And then within LLM output, there'll be ones specifically for, I I can't see the example you had here, but like summarize, and then all the summaries would go underneath that. So I know when I have an artifact generated, the ability to open it up with as little friction as possible is always helpful.
Smart. So I guess we could even probably do something like press, I don't know, dot to view or something. These are all could be changed, obviously, but it saves it. Okay, so you start up, tells you what audio devices you're doing, tells you how you could access the config or get help, shows the available hotkeys to actually start doing things, tells you what profile it's going to use, and allows you to quickly change that if you needed to. Records. Once you stop recording and your meeting is done, it says finishing up, saves the transcript, shows you how to open that transcript that you've made, and then the user or the AI workflow stuff happens. So then it's going to run this AI workflow. I guess it's just like done. Output saved to. Would that be under transcripts? Or this? Should we have like a?
The reason I think there'd be value in setting it separately is you can configure it to go somewhere else. Because if I had a directory that had a watcher on it, so I could say anything goes in here, send it off to Google Drive or something like that, auto sync it in Obsidian. Even like sending a lot of stuff to Obsidian, I think would be really great. So yeah, I would say it could always be the same directory people want, but I'd say configurable so they can send it somewhere else.
That makes sense. So we'll just do like /AI/user calls or something like that, just Perfect. To distinguish that it's separate. Oh no, man, Miro does not make text editing stuff easy.
No,
really.
It's been a while since I've used Miro, and
oh, it just didn't capture the rest of that user calls. Okay. And then I guess it would just return, right? And just be done?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Or would it return to the main menu? Would it just like clear out and go to the main terminal thing? Or would it be done and just go back to the menu?
I mean,
to be ready for the next call.
I feel like that's the end of the process. And if you get another meeting or whatnot, you'd fire up transcribe again. Or do you envision this being like a terminal window you have running all day long that you can just immediately hit start and go to?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like what we could do is we could make the CLI very CLI-ish. And so where you do that, you type transcribe in your terminal and it starts transcribing or whatever. And then like the UI version of that's kind of running in the background and listening for hotkeys and things. We could just remove hotkeys from the terminal.
Right.
That would make sense. Make the CLI very CLI forward.
Yeah, there is something about hotkeys though that I like. I feel like I would map it on my own anyways, but I don't know. It might be out of scope. Because how many CLI tools have a hotkey? I feel like that's very GUI.
Very niche, yeah, very niche. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, we could also maybe I would recommend. Let's say that the CLI is just standard CLI, and you type transcribe, and it gets you to here, and just starts recording, I guess, and just displaying the stuff that it's going to use, and then we could even add another option or another command that's like transcribe -- watch or something, or -- live that just keeps it up running in the background. Or I don't know, maybe for simplicity we'll just make it a standard CLI interface.
Yeah, I'm not sure if I want transcribe to kickstart the transcription process right away, only because if you want, how would you go about changing the profile? Or like just if you don't have the observability to see what the current one set is or something like that.
Yeah, that totally makes sense. Or you can just run transcribe and hit like spacebar to start or something. It still takes you to a menu, but it's just like kind of easy.
Yeah. Like it opens up and single button press.
I like that. Could work. That could work. Or it even just takes you and goes right into recording, but recording's like here or something. and you could change the profile while it's recording. I don't know. Because the profile only really matters at the end, right? When it does the workflow.
That's true, actually. Maybe that's where it would be nice to have it automatically processed, though, where I wouldn't have to type in.
Right. I do kind of like this idea of a menu that you brought up here.
Mm-hmm.
So these are the good questions to ask, because this changes the way we build this thing. I don't feel super strongly either way. Maybe the little menu makes sense. Then you hit a single key to start recording. I totally see that angle. So you can change your profile or your audio devices or whatever else. Does that sound right?
Yeah, let's just do that and see how it feels. I think being able to actually use it is going to be massively informative for what I want to do. Build, ship, iterate.
Okay, deal. Love it. All right, well, let's just leave this as is then. And then just for one more little thought experiment, what a UI would look like. And like, we're talking super simple.
Yeah. Like drop downs and buttons type thing?
Yeah, exactly. So I guess there's just like some literally like buttons. That's just like, we could have like a command bar at the bottom or something. I don't know, I'm throwing ideas here. We could do with a little red record button.
Nice.
And then there's like a pause and whatever else. Hey, all right. I'm an artist. I guess a stop button as well, maybe. Whatever. Clearly this isn't great, but just as general ideas. We have like a bottom bar, and then this could also down here have like the like, oops. This could be the status that updates, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. Gotta be informative.
So this actually tells you like what's going down. Pretty much just the standard out of this to some degree. That just kind of lists it here. And then we have all this real estate up here. Do we want to make this actually display the transcripts, or is that too much? You could just read all the files in a folder and display them as little things.
Yeah, I think it would be beneficial having a button that you can click to open the transcript, but the user might want to use their default text editor to open up and take in this type of stuff. Because I also think we're going to need things like a drop down for audio device as an example. Like this would be a prime spot for it. So I just think, this is more like the config thing, and then let the expert text editors handle text.
That makes sense. So we'll do here like profile, a little profile drop down type of deal. Oh yeah, that's a drop down. All right, yeah, it works. Okay, and we'll do another one of these for like audio device, microphone. Oh man, that is not good. All right, I'm gonna ignore the perfectionism. You can tell that that's a drop down. All right, microphone, and then system audio, which is probably less important because I think there's really only one way that works.
Okay.
With black hole or something. I don't know. Open transcripts. We can also have a button for open. Come on. Open AI stuff. Sure. Yeah. I mean, that's a pretty basic little UI. That would work, right?
Mm-hmm.
Does it need much more than that, really?
Maybe if the user wanted to change the path that the transcript were saved to, would you want to display that, or do you think that'd be in like a separate settings type thing?
Yeah, we could have another little box down here or something. Just have like a settings box that has all that type of stuff in it. I don't know. This has like path, whatever else. You also do like hotkeys too.
Yep.
I'll just add this here. Call it settings or something like that. Yeah,
I feel like that's everything we need.
I feel like that is everything we need.
We'll tweak around how it looks, but when we got the gist of it.
You mean you don't want a drop down that looks like that?
I mean, if you can make a component that's hand drawn like that, I would love it.
It'd be kind of a cool vibe. All right, that's cool. Thanks for doing this little activity with me. I just feel like it might be good to scope out what exactly we want this thing to look like and how it should work.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I think this will check both the boxes. Get a CLI option and then a GUI for the people who want that.
Love it. All right, I guess we could just jump into it then, huh?
Nice. Yeah. Actually, would you mind quickly just touching on the UI code and what we're...
Oh, what we're dealing with the code?
Yeah.
Sure. I guess I'll just run it and see.
Yeah. Perfect.
What? Oh, transcript. What? Why is source dot? What's going on here? Oh, I didn't apply my. Hold on, please. I am a Git noob and forgot to stash my or apply my stashes. There we go. Now I should do this. Hey, look at that. We got an app.
Wow.
But it's cool. This is an actual native app. These are native macOS buttons. And like, kind of works. You hit start recording and you can tell in the CLI it actually recorded. It actually like did the thing. Now it should be recording. I don't know if the microphone's working, but it should be recording yours.
Okay, yeah. I'll just say some things to test to see if it works.
And then this should change to say stop or something. But all right, let me hit that. Oh, look at that. Just did all that.
Well, that's looking all
cool.
familiar.
Start recording. So it did get me. That was my microphone, wasn't it? I don't know if my microphone's working, but it should be recording yours. Yeah, so it is getting my microphone and yours. That's cool. And then it ran the little transcripts that we set up here at the transcript analysis. Gave us a transcript. Gave us a summary. That's a pretty good summary. Fair enough.
Yeah, it's spot on.
And that's what we got. That's everything that works. But you can tell that app actually like does things, which is cool.
Nice.
So
after just a couple hours.
Huh?
After just a couple hours too.
I know, right? Been speed running this. Thanks, Karcher.
Whisper tiny. Yeah, that's why there was a couple typos.
Yeah, I definitely went for the smallest little Whisper file.
That was quick though.
Oh, I was also thinking too, I didn't tell you about this one, but should there be like a setup command that you could run first? I had Cursor make this, but it could tell you like which model you want to download. And it tells you like how much resources you should have. It can like set some of your YAML config, or should we just have people go into their YAML and set it themselves?
Well, I do like the idea of being able to have different Whisper models. I feel as though some people want the large and put up with the slowness, and other people want the tiny, super quick, but B-level results.
Yeah. Well, this doesn't have to be too.
It could be a script, or just ability for them to download it. But I think a script just keeps it simple.
Yeah, this just like you pick a model and then it downloads it, and that's all this does currently. But you could obviously change this to where it like, I don't know, you could create a profile, or it could tell you which audio source do you want to use, and it just like does a search and lists the ones that are available. Or, I don't know. I'm getting too into it. I'm over engineering. It should just be a config file, probably. Okay.
Cool.
So I guess we just start building then, huh?
Yeah. What how are you looking for time-wise today?
I got something at 3 my time, so I have about an hour and a half.
I think I got about half an hour, so.
Okay, cool. All good. All good. We'll be done by then. No, just kidding. We do have like probably 80% of this thing built already, though, which is pretty cool. Like that just recorded my microphone, your audio, transcribed it, ran AI analysis on it, gave us a transcript, gave us the summary, and then exited. That's like kind of cool.
Yeah, core flow. That's perfect.
Oh, it also saves the recordings too. It's like audio files. So yeah, got my microphone.
Okay,
Cool.
I couldn't hear it, but nice.
Oh, okay. Dang. All right. How do you want to divide and conquer on this?
I'd be happy to take some of that LM processing um, after it gets the transcript in, what it does with it. That's fun for me.
Nice. Yeah, do it. Sounds great. Yeah, the only I think there's cursor one shot some of this, so like feel free to remove any of it you want to. We have like the prompts thing in here. I think that's all it has, and then there's some sort of is it recording manager? I don't know. Somewhere in here it actually like stops recording and does this transcribe display. Oh yeah, here it is. Here's where it actually does the stuff.
Okay,
So
nice. All right, yeah, I'll play around with that. What are you gonna UI stuff?
yeah, I think I'll make the CLI look half decent first.
Okay, nice. Yeah, yeah. Let's just do CLI for now, and then we'll get perfect. Give me 1 minute.
Cool.
Okay, so I'm gonna try to extract the prompt stuff into the concept of a profile.
Nice. I love that.
Just a couple people prompting cursor composer.
This is what software engineering is now, huh?
Although it does say model. Actually, let me pull this over so people can see. Model Llama 3.1 from Anthropic. Not quite. Not quite.
Not quite. Not quite. It's just wild that coding nowadays is just typing in a composer and just having it create full full apps. I mean, I code too, if everyone's wondering out there. Like, I actually do code myself, but man, when cursor's this good, especially for building little apps like this, it's just kind of makes sense.
Yeah, and it tends to be when you get a little more complex that you have to dive in and do things yourself. But especially when we're just a few hours into a project and a lot of scaffolding and just general concepts. Plus, we're familiar with code enough that we can watch it and say, oh, it's going down the wrong path. Back things up and put it somewhere else type thing.
Yeah, exactly. Especially when we only have like what 12 files in our whole code base that it
Yeah.
can deal with. That's the right place to be.
Was there anything else you wanted to discuss about this, or do you think we should wrap up the stream and just work solo?
That's probably smart. Yeah, I guess we could just wrap up the stream. I'm getting sucked into the code.
Nice. All right, we'll do it.
Thanks for tuning in, people.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. Have yourself a good day, and make sure to check out latest episode of Tool Use.
Woohoo!